Okay, so today we're going to learn how to measure correctly. This is the measuring demonstration. Hi everyone. Measuring demonstration video. And I'm going to teach you guys how to measure ingredients correctly. And you're going to be able to use these skills with anything that you decide to make. So obviously hair back, apron on, I have my chef coat on, and then I wash my hands for 20 seconds or more. We are going to measure flour. When you measure flour, you're always going to use your dry measuring cup. You're going to use a spoon and you're going to have a leveler. Those are the three ingredients you need. Three pieces of equipment you need. I'm going to stir it just to loosen up the flour, and you spoon it into the dry measuring cup. I usually like to have something, I should put it over this bowl so any of the extra can go into that. And if we were making, cookies or cake or muffins or whatever we were doing, we would have a separate bowl for putting the ingredients in it. So this would be like our extra bowl. And then I'm going to level it off. So I did it heaping, level it off, and then that would then go into our other bowl that we would be making if we were making something. I'm just gonna dump it right back in because there's no reason to waste the flour. So this is the same method you would use for sugar as well, which is our next step. Always you want to seal items. You want to have your ingredients in sealed items so it stays fresh. Okay, so anytime a recipe calls for sugar, it is going to be granulated sugar or white sugar. So that is what this is. Same ingredients again, same items again. You're going to need your dry measuring cup and your spoon. Or if it was big enough, you wouldn't even have to do that. You could just scoop right into it because it doesn't really get packed. Sugar doesn't get packed. Now the flour, unless the flour says you need to sift it, it will not be sifted. So this is granulated sugar or white sugar. It's just the one you, like table sugar that you would use with coffee. Again, measure over, and then your extra bowl, and then you would dump that in. There's our 1 cup of sugar. So those three are the only ingredients we need for that, or I keep saying ingredients, equipment, your dry measuring cup, your leveler, or your spoon. Now let's say you don't have a leveler. Then you're just gonna use the back side of a knife. As long as it's a flat edge, then it will work. Okay, I'm gonna dump the sugar out. I should have dumped it back in. This is real cooking with Mrs. A. I'm not gonna redo everything for your video. It's okay. It's good to know I'm not perfect. I know you thought I was. Okay, so brown sugar. Brown sugar is going to have, again, you're gonna use your dry measuring cups, and you're going to use a spoon and a leveler. So again, I'm just gonna go ahead and just do it with a tiny 1/4 cup this time. That was a cup before. And I am going to just measure it. I could actually put that right over that container because it's so tiny. And I'm going to pack it in. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more because you always wanna make it heaping. And brown sugar is moist. If you read some articles and watch some other videos, it will actually say to store it with an apple or a piece of bread. I put it in an airtight container so it has not hardened. Okay, when we dump the brown sugar out, it will have it like a sandcastle kind of. So that means you did it correctly because it's moist. Okay, brown sugar is actually just white sugar, table sugar, granulated sugar with molasses, which is what you put into ginger snaps. Again, seal the container. Okay, so that is brown sugar. So if you were asked what ingredient is an ingredient that you pack, that would be brown sugar, would be your answer, because brown sugar is the ingredient, the one ingredient that is packed, like I just showed you. Okay, now we're gonna move on to oil, water, or milk, liquid ingredients. So liquid ingredients are going to have a liquid measuring cup. Some people refer to it as a wet ingredient. So we're gonna just go ahead and measure water, and I'm gonna measure 1/4 cup. So I'm going to my tap, my sink. I filled it up. I see that I did too much, so I'm gonna pour a little out until I think it's good. I'm gonna turn off the water so I don't waste. Okay, so I put a fourth in, and then what you need to do for liquid ingredients is you're gonna bend down at eye level because there's a meniscus, a curve in the water. You probably learned that in science. So 1/4 cup or more is going to be measured with a liquid ingredient. It's easy to remember because it's pourable, like oil pours, it's liquid. So, or wet, it's oil, milk, water. Just remember that you need to bend down at eye level. Okay, now we're going to do the small ingredients or small amounts of liquids like vanilla. So you have your vanilla. I have my measuring cup, my spoons, which are my favorite. And I'm going to measure right over there, pour it in, and that's the measurement. I'm gonna actually pour it back because this is pure vanilla, which is a little bit more pricey than imitation. It's actually a lot more expensive. And that's how you would measure that. Anything under 1/4 a cup is measured with our measuring spoons. So that's the difference between a measuring cup and a measuring spoon. Anything less than 1/4 cup is gonna go in there. I'll pull out my other set of older measuring spoons for the next step. Okay, the next one says small ingredients small amounts of dry ingredients. So I have out the baking powder and the cinnamon. Baking powder I wanted to show you first. Some of the baking powder actually has like a metal circular area here that has a line on it. I thought this one might, but it doesn't. And you can actually level as you go, which is kind of cool. So I'm just gonna do it the same way we've been doing it. Scoop it, level, and then that would be your item. So those are the only ingredients you need: a flat edge, or you can say a leveler, or a flat, some people call it a flat spatula. And then I'll just show you with cinnamon as well. So with cinnamon, make sure you take off the top. And then obviously, if I'm doing a teaspoon of this, like for my cinnamon donuts, it's not gonna fit. Oops, I just got baking powder. So I'm gonna just dump it over, and you know, cinnamon's not very expensive, so I'm just gonna do it like that. And okay, so one thing I forgot to show there is, so same idea, semi-solids, securely back on. 2 ways to measure it. The cinnamon. One trick I read about just like 2 more and learned was to do it with the saran wrap trick, where you take your measuring cup, you line the measuring cup, say it's 1/4 cup yogurt. I'm gonna scoop my yogurt into there. Semi-solids are like yogurt, applesauce, also Crisco, peanut butter, and then you can just use a flat edge to level it. And then what you would do then is just take your, I'll just put it right back in. Take your saran wrap and you can just dump it right into the item that you are making. So it kind of leaves your measuring cup nice and clean. It's super easy. You still have to kind of scrape a little bit with your rubber spatula to get all the right amount, but you could choose to do it that way. Or the way I do it is I just go ahead and scoop right into the dry measuring cup, always heaping, level it, and then you want to use your spatula, your rubber spatula, to scoop the extra so you have the correct measurement. So 2 ways, super easy, but that's how you would do semi-solids. Is the butter. Butter or margarine come in sticks usually, if a stick form or a tub form, and all you're gonna do is read the wrapper, and if it says on it, 8 tablespoons are in a stick of butter or 1/2 cup. So if it says 2 tablespoons, you're just gonna cut it there. If it says a 1/4 cup, you're gonna use 4 tablespoons, and you just measure the stick and remove the wrapper. All right, thank you, signing off.